Adding a donor organization. To add a new donor organization, you click on the Donors button at the top. That will open the donor window. And the first thing you want to notice is that we have two tabs. We have an Organizations tab and we have an Individuals tab. So you want to make sure that you are in the Organizations tab. Then you're going to click the New button, click Organization, or you can use the keyboard shortcuts Control N, and that will give you a new organization record. And if you notice, the cursor will be blinking in the prefix field, which is optional. Then you have the location prefix, which is also optional. And then we have the organization name. Now, the organization name is the only required field in the entire form, so you can enter as much or as little information as you want to. And the next thing is, if you notice, as I was entering the organization name, the list as field is populated automatically. This field is the text, contains a text that's going to show up in any printed materials, including the beat sheet or any reports that you choose to print with donor information. So if you want to modify the way that looks, you can change the content or the text there as opposed to changing the organization name itself. Next, we have the organization type, and you can type in or create a new type, and that will be added to the list for the next time you want to use it for a different organization. And the same thing will happen to the source and the status. We also have an anonymous checkbox, and that's for donors that do not want their name to be shown on the beat sheets. You simply check that box, and when you link them to an item, the beat sheet will not show the donor name, but instead it will show the word anonymous. We also have a set of flags or donor flags that you can customize, and you do that via the Custom Flags button here on the bottom right. So to customize or change the meaning of a flag, you simply type the new meaning. You also have a couple of solicitor flags and a couple of contacts flags. And one thing to notice is that you can customize family and organization flags separately. So once you've made your changes, you can click OK. And later on, you can actually print reports or filter the donor database based on those flags. You can also filter on type, on source, or status. Next, we have the solicitor and organization address. So to add a new solicitor or link a solicitor to the organization, you click on New Solicitor, and you're going to get a list of names, and these are names that are entered in the individuals database. So if you're planning to add solicitors, you first need to enter those solicitors as individuals in the individuals database, and once you do that, then they'll show up on the list, and you simply select the one that you want to link. You click OK, and they will be listed here on the left. So you can add several solicitors. Okay, and each solicitor will get a set of flags, and you can also type a comment here. So you can have a comment field for each solicitor. Next, we have the organization address. And we have the organization's website or URL. Okay. You can add several phone numbers. And you can also enter contacts for that organization. And to do that, you click on New Contact. And you can enter, as much information as you want to. You can have several contacts. Okay, and you can also keep track of staff for that organization. The last thing we have here is a memo field where you can either keep notes or you can actually enter action memos, which means you can enter a date of when something needs to be done. So for example, I want to add here call to confirm donation. So I simply enter that in, I select the date when I need to do that, and you also want to make sure that this checkbox is checked. That means that it's an action memo, meaning that you have to perform a task. And later you can print a report that will show you either all the memos, or it will show you only the action memos, meaning those memos that require an action. So I can add several memos. So let's see, you can put something like last contact person was John. Okay, and this is not an action memo, so I simply uncheck that. Okay, and that concludes the tutorial for adding a new donor organization.